This is the Strat-O-Matic Baseball Excel 1970-73 Carryover League. Brought to you by the Shrimp Trawler YouTube channel.
Welcome back, baseball fans, to the 1970-73 Carryover League. We have another opening day. We're halfway through the league. The top 16 teams, you could call them, from last year have played their openers, home and away. And we are looking at some third-place teams a year ago. Arizona at Houston. A couple interesting things to note, that Houston, as a third-place team, was still in the playoffs. And they were a wild card team behind the Dodgers and Giants. And Arizona won the Commissioner Award for roster effectiveness, so they got their draft done sooner than any of the other squads. Today's pitching matchups: Arizona will send Reggie Cleveland, their first-round pick, out there. They have improved their pitching staff nicely. They added Darryl Knowles, Ken Tatum to the back end. They had a Jim Willoughby last year as a 1. Now he's a 2. Bizarro's a 3. Dobson's a 4. So they've really retooled their staff. Houston's going to counter with Larry Dierker. Not quite as dominant as he was with the 69 card, but still a ace for Houston. And Astros didn't change too much with their team. They're just trying to run it back. Maybe we were a wild card team last year, and they're crossing their fingers to hopefully achieve that again. Let's get started from the 8th wonder of the world, the Houston Astrodome. Leading off for Arizona is Stevie Ray Braun, 48. Triple one off of Dierker is a single. C. Steeler. And Felipe Alou's going to do a hit and run to start the season. A little different tactic. They don't normally do that, but a hit and run roll of a 7. Braun is a C. It's an 11. And the arm of Johnny Edwards, he's a -1, makes it 10, and he's in there with the roll of a 4. So Braun, Alou swings through the sign, and Alou steals second base anyway. So now the runner's at second for Felipe Alou. 46, this time it's a grounder to second base. Joe Morgan makes the play. And you see they actually got the runner all the way to third base on that. A missed hit and run, and then they get a ground ball to the right side of the infield anyway. So you have a runner at third with 1 out for Jim Lytle. 5'11", skies it under right X. This is Jose Cruz at 2'9". And he makes the catch, and it's a too shallow of a fly ball, and he has to hold up at third base. Tough break for Zona on that one. On the 2 outs, it's George Thomas, 32. Is a grounder to third. All right. The Astros have Joe Morgan still leading off with his 1970 card. Let's take a look at it. He's been the subject of trade speculation. We know he'll get to the Reds in 1972. But in 1970, with this card, it's 268 with 102 walks and 8 homers. And the Astros know what happens historically. And they also realize that I'm not going to allow him to play his whole career with the Houston Colt 45s. I'll get him to the Reds in 72, but I think we'll just have him go 2 more years with the Astros, make it fair for both squads. Joe Morgan, 3'6", is a sky to center. Dennis Mankey, 1'7", double 1-3 is a double. The toy cannon, Jimmy Wynn, 46, flies right. And with 2 outs, it's Jose Cruz, 69, skies to center field. Top of 2, it's Ed Herman leading off for the Diamondbacks, 5'10", center X. This is Cedeno, a 1E8 in center field. Makes the catch. The catcher, Paul Casanova, 6'6", short X. And this is rookie shortstop Roger Metzger, the great glove at short. A 1E14 makes the play. And rookie Brock Davis, acquired as the Commissioner Award pick. Catcher's card. Johnny Edwards, a 40-13, makes the play. All right, bottom of 2. Cesar Cedeno, 48, short X. Arizona shortstop, Popovich. Shortstop, he's a 330. And he makes an error on the E14 there. Just a review again, when we're plugging in the defensive results here, with Popovich being a 3E40 and the result for 3E14 shortstop shows an error, it means Popovich would also make an error. You don't have to plug in that number. Bob Watson, 5'11", is a strikeout. John Edwards, 53, pitcher B, and with 2 outs, it's Roger Metzger, 39, walk. 2 on, 2 outs for Tommy Mccraw. Mccraw, actually, no G in that. 53, rolls back to the mound. Top of the 3rd, it's Popovich, the shortstop, leading off. 1-8, flies to right field. Dalton Jones, 58, pops to first base. And Stevie Ray Braun, 1-9, double 1-7 is a base hit. Felipe Alou, 1-4, skies the center field. Bottom of the 3rd, Joe Morgan, 2-5, rounds the first. Dennis Menke, 37's walk. Jim Wynn, 2-5, another walk, 2 on, 1 out for Jose Cruz, 45, center B, and with 2 outs, and 2 on. The star of the Astros, Cedeno, big moment here with 2 on and 2 outs. 56 as he popped to third base. Scoreless into the 4th in Houston. Here's Jim Lytle, 2-7 as a K. George Thomas. Let's take a look at the George Thomas card for the 4th and final year of its installment for the Arizona Diamondbacks. This is how you build, this is how you get to 32 teams, folks. If you're wondering and curious, how in the heck do you go from 24 teams in Major League Baseball to 32? Well, you have all these little extra player cards. 99 at-bats for George Thomas with the Boston Red Sox in 1970. Like, they really needed that. But this young gentleman is property of the Arizona Diamondbacks for not 1, not 2, not 3, but 4 years. He's been there for the last 4 years and has probably had about 500 or 600 plate appearances. Yeah, in 4 years, I play about 20, 30, 40 games a season. That's like a full season of this guy got. That's how you do it. That's how you have to do it. You got to round up all the extra players and get them on the expansion teams. And in any event, 1-6 for George Thomas is a double to center field. Ed Herman, 2-10. Let's take a look at the Ed Herman card. Straight platoon catcher. He's not a short sample size guy. No, he's a everyday dude in a platoon. 2-10 crushes a drive down the line, 2-run bomb, and the Diamondbacks grab a lead. Paul Casanova, actually, 65, pops to short. Casanova actually would be platooning with Ed Herman as a right-handed catcher. Herman left-handed. Herman can't throw. Casanova can. He's a -2. But they're both playing today. Sometimes you don't even have to platoon. All right, Brock Davis, 66, bounces to second. This is Joe Morgan. He's a 3E20. And he makes the play. All right, Astros down 2-zip. Reggie Cleveland, the rookie, from 1973. Here's Bob Watson, 2-3, skies the center. Johnny Edwards, 4-10, flies left. Roger Metzger, 6'10", bouncer to third. Third baseman, though. 3E23 is a base hit. Metzger's a C stealer. I'll stay put at first. And it's Tommy Mccraw, 5'10". Homer 1-5, double off of the Cleveland card. He rolls a 2. Does he have power? Oh my goodness, he does, folks. Tommy Mccraw. Let's take a look at Tommy. Much maligned Tommy. Great glove at first base. Great range. You know, as far as the stick goes, never seemed to put it together. But the fact that he's a beast stealer, a rangy 2, a lefty who has power against lefties as well, that gives him a little bit of value. And in this particular moment, the most valuable part of his card is the power. He has it, and that makes it a tying 2-run homer. Tommy Mccraw. Let me give you those stats again. 332 plate appearances, 220 batting average with 6 home runs. No bigger home run than that one. All right, Joe Morgan. 36 is a sky to center field. 2-2 into the 5th. Popovich. 58 pops to first. Dalton Jones, 1-8 is walk. Stevie Ray Braun, 56. Sky's to right, and with 2 outs. Felipe Alou, 57 is a K. Let's pause a moment for station identification.
This is the Shrimp Trawler video channel.
Este es el canal de videos de camaroneros.
All right, it'll be Dennis Menke leading off in the bottom of the 5th. 111 flies to right. The toy cannon Jimmy Wynn, 46 flies to right. And with 2 outs, it's Jose Cruz, 2 nines a walk. Jose's a C stealer. He'll stay put at first. Cedeno, 67 is a K. 2-2 affair into the 6th inning. Nice opening day game here. Jim Lytle, 34, ground to second. George Thomas, 1-7. Saw the card earlier. Had the automatic double in 6. Here's double 1 of 17. That's another double. The 343 hitter is hitting 667 on the year. Ed Herman, 6-7. It's a base hit in the right field. Thomas, 10 runner, not going anywhere. Runners in the corners, 1 out. Casanova. You know, it's such a low-scoring game. They're going to bring the infield up here. You never know. This next run could win the thing. So 58. Doesn't matter. It's a sac fly to center field by Casanova off the Durker card, and we still have a 3-2 game. Brock Davis, 2-6 is single dot. Runners on the corners, 2 outs for Paul Popovich. 57. Skies to center field. 3-2 Diamondbacks. Bottom of the 6th, Bob Watson. The starting pitchers, Reggie Cleveland is a starter 7. Larry Durker is a starter 8. And Watson will lead off in the 6th. 2 nines, a base hit for Watson. Johnny Edwards, 2-6 is a B+ ground ball. That makes it a fielder's choice. They weren't holding Watson, so you have a runner at first. That's Edwards with 1 out for Roger Metzger. 64 off Cleveland is catcher's card. This is Casanova. Should be the better defensive catcher. 2-6. And he gets a pass ball. So we got a runner in scoring position with 2 outs for Tommy Mccraw, the offense of the Houston Astros. The pitch to Tommy. 55 is ball 4. Tommy works the count and gets it to the top of the lineup for Joe Morgan with 2 ducks in the pond. The pitch to Morgan. 2-8 is ball 4. He only did that, what is it, 102 times. That's right. Bases loaded. 2 outs. Bottom of the 6th. Dennis Menke walk ties this game. Speaking of walks, this team they do get a lot of walks. They all do. Morgan, Menke, Wynn had 106. Cruz had 49. Cedeno. Menke, if you're wondering, 562 at-bats with 82 walks. 304 batting average, probably, 360, 370 OPS on base. So here's the pitch now to Dennis Menke with the bases loaded and 2 outs. 39 off the Menke card is a grounder to short. The Astros get a bunch of nothing as we move to the 7th. Leading off is Dalton Jones. 45, short X. This is Metzger. The 1 at short. The 18 makes the play. Stevie Ray Braun, 3-6. Triple on a 4 is a single on a 5. Felipe Alou, 1-6 is a 6-4-3 double play. Stretch time here in Houston. We are listening to Gene Clark's 1971 LP, White Light, or Spanish guitars. No, that's a great. I'll put that one on now. That's a great one here. All right, bottom of the 7th. Toy Cannon. Cleveland, you're going to have to break him to get him out of there. He's doing that well. Jimmy Wynn. 45, pops to first. Jose Cruz, 1-6, ground to short. Cedeno, 37's a walk. He's going to try and steal with 2 outs, and he's in there. And what's the T rating for Casanova? T1 to 9, roll to 10. Bob Watson, tie run at second with 2 outs. The pitch to Watson. 63, second X. This is Dalton Jones. 4-14 at second base. And that is a single not done, and that'll get the run in, and we're all tied up here. With 2 outs, John Edwards trying to break Reggie Cleveland. 35 is a walk, and that does break Reggie Cleveland, and that will be it. 6 2/3. He can still leave the game with a no decision here, but he's responsible for the runners. Roger Metzger, Tom Mccraw doesn't really scare a lot of... So we'll go to Jerry Bell. Ringing the Jerry Dinner bell here in the 7th inning. Jerry was the closer last year. This year, long man. That's how good Arizona has drafted. They were able to finagle the back end of the bullpen. So Watson's at first. Watson's at second. Edwards at first, and it's Roger Metzger. Let's take a look at his card. You know, does he start with his best? I mean, is this his best? I think it doesn't get any better than this, but that's okay. I mean, the Astros will have this card for 4 wonderful years. I mean, a 1 at shortstop. Who doesn't want a 1 at short? But yeah, he'll have good defensive years, but I just don't think his bat ever improves from this. So, Roger, let's use that bat here with 2 on and 2 outs in the bottom of the 7th. The pitch to Roger Metzger. 57 off the Jerry Bell, bounces to short. The other shortstop, Popovich, a 3-30 at short, and he makes the play. We got a 3-3 tie on opening day here in Houston. Let me turn this down a little bit here. There we go. 8th inning of a 3-3 tie. Larry Dierker's starter rate, you got to break him to get him out of there. He is the top dude here in Houston. Jim Lytle, 56, skies are right field. You know, the Astros, they don't have that dominant pitching staff they would have eventually in the late 70s when they had J.R. Richard, traded for Nolan Ryan, Joe Mccraw, Joe Sambito, Frank LaCordy, and a whole bunch of other guys. This staff is just, it's okay. It's a nice staff. It's nothing really lights out. I can't really hang my hat on any particular major asset here, other than Larry Dierker continuing to be a slightly above average ace. So there you go. George Thomas, 210, grounds a short. And with 2 outs, Ed Herman, 410. 410 off the Dierker card is gone. Solo shot. It is Ed Herman's world. The rest of us, we're just living in it, folks. Easy Ed is 3 for 4 with 2 home runs and 3 RBI today. My goodness. And it's 4-3 Arizona. Paul Casanova, 1-8 skies to center field. Let's consider some defense for the young Diamondbacks. Is there such a thing? Let's see. Well, Roger Freed could play right field for somebody. That would help. Yeah, he'll come in for old George Thomas. So now you got a nice fielding right fielder. What else you have? You have Chris Arnold, doesn't do a whole lot with a glove. Oh, you have Don Hahn's a 1 in left field. So Don Hahn will come in for, could actually come in for Ed Herman, and we'll put him in Ed Herman's spot. And Brock Davis goes to DH. So they improve the defense and the corners of their outfield with a 1 in left and a 3 in right. They were both 4s to start the game. They have a 2 in center, and that's Lytle. Their outfield defense got a whole lot better. Let's go to the bottom of the 8th. Jerry Bell now has a chance to get a vulture win here after getting just 1 batter out in the 7th. And it's Tommy Mccraw leading off for the Astros. 3-9 base hit for Tom Mccraw, been on 3 out of 4 times. See that? Smart move. Thought, why do you have... It was probably rated as one of the weakest hitting first basemen in the entire carryover league. That's why he batted 9th. But on opening day, he's been on 3 times. And he's a B-stealer. Out of your number 9 hitting first baseman. So, he has to be held on base. Casanova. With a -2 arm. Jerry Bell is good at getting lefties out, so he'll pitch to probably through to Cruz. Joe Morgan. 59, Morgan. Sky's a shadow left. Dennis Menke. 47, lines the first. And with 2 outs, it's the toy cannon, Jim Wynn. 67, single 1 and 9 is a base hit. 2 on, 2 outs for the batter, Jose Cruz, last batter for Bell. The pitch to Jose Cruz. 4-4, center X. This is Lytle in center field. He has some good defense. Lytle is a 2-4 in center. But it is the spacious Astrodome. Let's see if he can range over and get it. No, he cannot. Look what happened here, folks. The result is a double ... with 2 outs. And once again, the Astros have an answer. That's an RBI double to tie it at 4. Wynn has to... It was a ground rule double, so Wynn has to go back to third base. He does not score on the hit, and he's at third. Cruz is at second, and it's Cedeno with 2 outs, and that'll be it for Jerry Taco Bell. Just an inning. Cedeno, it's lefties and righties equally well. We're going to go Daryl Knowles in the 8th to Cedeno. Second and third, 2 outs. Might as well pitch to him. Behind him, you got Bob Watson. He'll kill you too. So here comes Cedeno in a 4-4 tie. Runners at second and third, 2 outs. The pitch to Cesar Cedeno. 2-4, grounds to short. Well, folks, the teams are trading jabs, trading punches here. Was 3-2, 3-3, now it's 4-4 into the 9th. Larry Dierker, he's going to continue to the 9th inning. Now, I think last year he was a starter 9, so he could have gone into the 10th inning. This year he's only a starter 8. So he'll pitch to the bottom 3 and then probably call it a day. So leading off is Brock Davis. 58, pops to first. Paul Popovich. 310, single 1 and 19 is a base hit. He's an E-stealer. Dalton Jones. 1-7. Dalton Jones walks. 2 on, 1 out on the cusp of breaking. But Dierker, you gotta break him to get him out of there. He's Mr. Astro. Steve Braun with 2 on and 1 out. 47 for Braun is a walk, and that does break our guy. Larry Dierker, that's it. Here come manager comes out. He tried, folks. He pitches 8 in the 3rd innings, but he loads the bases in the 9th of a 4-4 game. You got Felipe Alou and Jim Lytle. You really don't have a bench because Chris Arnold is the only guy available on the bench. Oh, boy. Oh, I got a nice call here. Let's go to Denny Lemaster. Let's take a look at Denny Lemaster's card. Denny Lemaster, you might remember him. He had some All-Star nods with a 69 card in a couple years. He might have actually appeared in one of the All-Star game broadcasts representing the Astros. Now it's 1971 with this card, and he is back at the end of his career to wrap things up in the bullpen. He is a lefty who kind of gets righties out. That's what he's being asked to do here. Lemaster in the 8th inning to try and get Felipe Alou out in the 9th inning, excuse me. With the bases loaded, Felipe Alou, bunch of double plays on his card. They're going to play it back with the bases loaded and 1 out. I just don't think a ground ball B or C is in the cards, but we shall see. The pitch to Felipe Alou. 37 is a clean single dot, and the Diamondbacks again take a lead. Jim Lytle, bases loaded, 1 out. He will have to hit. Doesn't hit lefties very well, but Lemaster's weak against them. Here's the pitch to Lytle. 54, a sac fly to center field, and the Diamondbacks grab themselves a 2-run lead. You have first and second with 2 outs. And it's going to be Roger Freed. Let's take a look at Roger Freed's card. This guy was drafted in anticipation of eventually bumping him up to his magical 1977 card. And we're a long ways away from that, like 5 years away from that. But they wanted to make sure they get that in 5 years' time, so they signed him now. And he hits lefties pretty well, as you can tell there. I think, yeah, I'm not going to make it that easy for him. So Lemaster will leave. We'll go to Jim Ray. Last year's closer, Jim Ray, is now this year's setup guy. He will face Roger Freed with runners at first and second and 2 outs, trying to keep it a 2-run game. The pitch to Roger Freed. 68 is a pop to short. We go to the bottom of the 9th inning. Daryl Knowles is your pitcher of record. Watson, Edwards, and maybe a pinch hitter. You got 3 righties on the bench. So as soon as one of those or 2 of those bench players get announced, they'll probably go to Ken Tatum. But let's go with Bob Watson leading off in the 9th inning. 56 is a sky to left field. Batting for Johnny Edwards. I doubt they'll hook him with a 2-run lead. They'll call Greg Goosen. Greg Goosen making his carryover league debut. Here's his card. Nice, a little bit of power and on base against lefties, you can see. With a 2-run lead, Arizona's comfortable pitching to this guy with Knowles. The pitch to Goosen. 57 is a base hit off Daryl Knowles. So now, this is the spot. This is where you got to be clever here. Do you do it now? I think you do it now. Batting for Roger Metzger is going to be Doug Rader. Take a look at Doug Rader here. And this will certainly get Daryl Knowles out of the game. You don't want to be facing this guy. So can the Astros tire the game for the 3rd inning in a row? They're going to have to deal with former All-Star closer Ken Tatum. Ken Tatum was an Angel, had represented a Bad Angels team in a couple All-Star games, and oddly enough, they went to the playoffs last year, and he didn't make the All-Star team. Very strange. But yeah, he still can do it against the righties, not so much against the lefties. He comes on in the 9th to face Doug Rader. And you realize, of course, if he doesn't hit into a double play, it really sets this up for Tom Mccraw. The lefty with power to beat Tatum with a walk-off. So let's see what happens to Doug Rader with a runner at first and 1 out. The pitch to Doug Rader. 2-5 is, unfortunately for the Astros, the short A+. That is a 6-4-3 double play for Doug Rader. That was clearly not the correct call by the Astros. Actually, Dave Duncan would hit in double play as well. And yeah, you get the idea. Tough break for Houston. They made it interesting. They got down. 2-zip tied it. 3-2 tied it. 4-3 tied it. 6-4 could not tie it. And the Diamondbacks have won on opening day. Nice day for those guys. And they are in first place. Again, the Arizona, you don't have to do too much to win that division. You got 4 expansion teams. At least Arizona and Colorado have some semblance of Major League Baseball history. Las Vegas and Portland, of course, are completely fictional. So Las Vegas and Portland usually gets more of the dregs in the draft. So it's really Arizona and Colorado are the teams that usually end up with the best rosters. Tatum gets the save. Probably through 1 pitch ground ball double play. Daryl Knowles gave up a hit in the 9th, got the final out in the 8th. Jerry Bell gave up 3 hits and a run. Made the final out in the 7th. And Reggie Cleveland, Knowles gets the win. A nice no decision for Reggie Cleveland with just 5 hits and 3 runs. It got away from him in the 7th. He did walk a ton of guys though. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, 8 walks for Reggie Cleveland. It's a lot for a rookie. So the losing pitcher is Larry Dierker. Left him in there just a way bit too long there. Lemaster came in and faced Alou. And then a sac fly in and out for Jim Ray. Everything else charged to Dierker. 10 hits and 5 runs. Actually 6 runs. Felipe Lay and Roger Freed. Yeah. Let's see. Those 6 runs, they were all earned. Walked 3, struck out 2. 1019, 0109, 61149, 3282, 8232. Boy, the Astros should regret that game. They put 17 men on base and only scored 4 times. Reggie Cleveland was flirting with disaster the entire time there. Arizona and Houston. All right, we'll take a look at the year-to-date box for the league. With just 1 game played, no sense looking at the individual teams, but we can look at how many games we've played to date. At the end of the video, we'll list the result of the series. And as I've been doing, if it goes 5 games, I come back in the 9th inning with a live result. So we'll see if that happens as well. We played 36 games so far. League's hitting .267 with a .387 team ERA. That's kind of what we're expecting this year, folks. A little down on the hitting. And the pitching is really caught up. I mean, we started the year with some big offenses. I believe it was the Reds and the Mets and Tigers and the Red Sox. And they really just jacked the league ERA up, just crushing the ball. But ever since then, the pitching has started to show its colors and brought that nasty ERA down to a respectable number, 387. So that's what we're expecting this year. Should be a fun year, folks. I'm really looking forward to this year as the teams have to really use their chess pieces. They don't have all-star lineups and Hall of Fame pedigrees. They have to chip away. Some teams, of course, have Hall of Fame players, obviously, but trying to fill out a 20-man roster is difficult when the talent pool is small. So that's what we have to look forward to this year. Thanks for checking this out. We'll see you next time.